Huawei P40 Pro long-term review. Introduction. Is there life without Google? Huawei clearly hopes your answer to this question will be a resounding yes, but we are not ones to just take a company marketing at its word. So we decided to find out for ourselves, is their Pro sufficiently Pro? Even so, let's see. We have had a P40 Pro around since day one, so we thought it would be a good experiment to try and live with it day in and day out as our one and only smartphone and get to the bottom of how big of an impact the lack of Google apps and services actually has on the user experience. And that aside, we were absolutely curious to see if Huawei has improved upon the already proven formula of the P30 Pro from last year, which was one of our favorite devices we have reviewed long term. So this is going to be a unique journey as this is the first Huawei device we are reviewing long term after Google got banned from providing the Chinese company with its version of Android built-in apps and services included. The Mate 30 Pro was technically the first Huawei flagship to launch in this new reality, but that only got a very limited release outside of China, so it may still not be available where you live. The P40 series, on the other hand, has global ambitions, that is, if you don't count the US market. With that in mind, we set out to find out if the P40 Pro has what it takes to be your daily driver in this world we are living it, where some companies get arbitrarily banned from doing business with other companies and where the COVID-19 pandemic is still doing a lot of damage. Is this the time to spend top dollar on a smartphone? That's a question for the statisticians to answer in a few months. Presumably, in the meantime, if you have set top dollar to shell out for a high-end slab of technology, you might be interested to know if the P40 Pro fits your bill. Buckle up and join us over the next page to find out where we think about the P40 Pro after a few weeks of using it exclusively. Google services be damn. Design, build, quality, handling. Glass, metal, glass, yet, yes, it's another sandwich. But wait, this one has cheese spilling off on all sides. We shall address that in the display section below. The P40 Pro is pretty much a standard looking flagship smartphone for 2020. Otherwise, aside from the screen itself, there are two main design elements that stick out: the rear cameras and the front cameras. The front facing pill shaped cutout is impossible to not see, and the huge camera is island at the back definitely makes its presence felt too, whether it's when you hold the phone to your ear or you have it lying flat wobbling on a table. And the case that's including in the box in some markets alleviates this somewhat, and it allows the screen to curve on all sides without covering it. Bonus points for that design, since the case does not take away much of the improved feel of sweeping from any side on the curved glass. The P40 Pro build quality is perfect, which is of course what it should be considering the premium amount you are being charged for buying this handset. There nothing to nitpick here. It's all rather outstanding. Interestingly, the device is marginally narrower than its predecessor, if a tad taller and thicker. It's also narrower than most of its competitors, which makes handling it a real breeze. The in-hand feel is extremely good, aided in part by the fact that while the front and back glass do curve into the metal frame, the curve are not as extreme as with some other phones, and the frame itself is rather flat. The size of the P40 Pro might be one of its biggest assets. So if you are not want to go for humongous devices, don't get us wrong. Thought it's still big, just not unwieldy by today standard.